In this demo, I'm going to share with you how to deploy and use our free community project in your own AWS environment. Before we start, you can see how it's going to look like after you deploy it successfully. You have all the assets here, but the interesting part, of course, is the AI section, where you can ask the context and the metadata, whatever you would like. So let's get back to see how can we install and deploy this project. You have all the instruction, of course, in the GitHub repository, but let's overview and review it very quickly. First, we'll start with installing the AWS CLI so you can get access to the AWS environment. After we finish with AWS CLI, we will need to configure our access key so we can get access to the entire AWS environment. As you can see, our AWS CLI configuration is configured and we can access the environment, and we'll test it very soon. The next step is to clone our repository so we can start working on this project. All you need to do is just to clone it. All the files will be downloaded to your VM and you can start using it. After you finish cloning the GitHub repo, you would have a folder called AWS IR. So let's get inside it. Here you have bash script where you can verify the access and if you have access and write permissions to the AWS environment. As you can see, all the verification passed, and now we can start running our full script to get all the information we need from the AWS environment. If everything went fine, you will get completed successfully logs, of course, and you have plenty of logs here about the actual deployment and installation, where you can see if you have any kind of issues regarding the deployment. The JSON file is the main file where all the metadata and the context is being saved, and this means that our installation went fine and we need to move to the next step, which is the web user interface. The user interface is optional, but if you want to have easy access to the JSON organized in nicely user interface, you can install it also from this GitHub repo. Here on this folder in this CMV file, you can put your Anthropic API key so you can interact with the AI. And to install the user interface, all you need to do is just to run this bash script where you can install all the services and the interface component. So let's get back and see we have web UI folder. And here we have simply setup services bash script. You need to run it as all the UI component will be installed. You don't need to worry about anything, and you will have a user interface up and running when it's finished.